The expectation that many had that China would embrace World Trade Organization membership, and it would be a harbinger for embracing broader openness and multi-party activity within their one-party state, has not been realised. It just has not been realised. We saw some collective leaderships through Hu Jintao's period and his predecessors, but with Xi Jinping in 2012, it took a year or two, but by 2014, clearly there was a different direction. There was an understanding of the need to have, market pressures within their economy, but it was going to be under a much stricter controlled environment. And at about that point, 2014, 2015, people like me were recommending, it was time to reassess the level of investment and exposure in in-country activities. And so quite a number withdrew that I was involved in, because, it was going to be harder and harder to meet the expectations that a more centralised authoritarian approach to running China was going to have as an impact on foreign investors. Now, I took the view that they needed all the support they could get for the development of the greatest movement of people out of world poverty ever in history. I mean, that's a fantastic achievement. But we have to look for what our own expectations and returns are. So they had changed, and not in a way that was in alignment with expectations. Americans, bless them, they went along this journey faster than anybody else in investing in and engaging with and getting return from the growth of China. The biggest single investor in treasury bonds into Washington is China. In world history, they now hold $1 trillion US treasury bonds by Chinese banks. The biggest export of China is actually its capital. The largest 5 banks in the world. Number 5 is JP Morgan. The top 4 are all Chinese banks. So don't think that this was all just one way. China, they went a different route, and they took as much as they possibly could along that journey, from technology to knowledge, other areas, and capability to build their nation. And we need a much more equitable approach from China, and we haven't got it. And so our approach now is one of principled realism. We have principles and values, and principles are broader than values, but we know what our core is as our nation, but we're realistic to the trading environment. And so and we have to dance between the US and China, and more importantly, growth of other markets where we can see opportunity for us. We're a trading nation, always have been since they landed here, and we became a federation.